we have established.
Sintoniza Amigos de Seattle Radio por www.adsradio.org.
Okay, there was a little something in between. Going back to my answer, so we as attorneys have established relationships with the government attorneys. We are familiar with the judges. We see the same ICE agents. However, what is very clear is that under this administration, the government is not acting in good faith. And it is, of course, the people who work in DHS, they have their orders. And many of them are decent people and good lawyers. It's just that under this administration, they are told to do things that sometimes are patently unlawful and other times simply acting in bad faith and not in accordance with the law. Then question number 3, are ICE agents encouraged or rewarded for abusive treatment of detainees?
I feel that they are encouraged. I really don't know the policies about how they get rewarded, but I think they feel they are encouraged to be harsh and to make sure that they detain people. I think it depends on every person also who is part of the ICE, and they treat the way people they treat people the way they feel they are treated. They can treat them. Some people feel like this is the opportunity to treat badly a person, and some others don't. But I don't know if they are rewarded in any way because they treat badly to a person they detain.
So what I have a few thoughts. Number one, I think many people have heard that there are sign-on bonuses up to $50,000, and maybe that's what people thought about when they were talking about reward. I'm sure that ICE does not pay people to rough up detainees. However, what they have done is they have done away with any oversight, and they have closed the offices within ICE that used to investigate brutality and unlawful behavior. And I think that in the current environment where racism and the kind of just very, very out there anti-immigrant sentiment is encouraged within the population, the performative cruelty of ICE is everywhere. Kristi Noem riding along and calling immigrants dirt bags, and DHS themselves posting videos of breaking car windows and arresting people, mothers at a daycare. So I think that performative cruelty is encouraged because it is fed to the public who elected this administration. And last question here is ICE. Is it true that ICE is going after those who shelter migrants? That's an interesting question. Luz, what would
well, we have heard of cases where people who have helped in some ways, like giving a ride or helping people who are undocumented have been put in proceedings. There is a law, of course. There is it's considered a crime to abate.
So I think what Luz, what you are thinking about. So there is a federal law that makes it a felony to abet, basically aid and abet illegal immigration. And every circuit court in the nation has a different interpretation of what that means. Does it mean hiring an undocumented migrant? Does it mean renting an apartment to them? Does it having them work in your home as a nanny? In the Ninth Circuit, where we are, the case law basically says that just hiring a person is not enough. But then, for example, if a person, there are people being prosecuted or have been prosecuted, for example, who hired multiple undocumented people, provided those workers an apartment to live in, and then took them by car to that kind of.
Yes. Also, another circuit, and we know of a famous case, for that this person who is accused of trafficking or not, abating. It's Abrego, this guy Abrego, who was in proceedings because he was transporting.
Well, I think in his case, so Luz is talking about the very, very famous case or infamous Hilmar Abrego, who the government sent to El Salvador and then had to bring back because the judge had withheld his removal to El Salvador. But he himself was a migrant. He was an under, he was here on a withholding. But the question is, so basically, a regular person, you and I, can we be prosecuted for helping undocumented?
Well, based on what you said, in the Ninth Circuit,
I don't think
hopefully not.
anybody's going to do anything for you, at least not at the moment, for giving a ride to your friend who is undocumented, paying for.
Okay, I think we're done.
Okay.